Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to class. Happy New Year. This is the first live stream for Move with Sarah in 2024, so I'm really excited to kick off the new year with you all. Clearly, our holiday decorations are still up. We're going to work on that today, but enjoy the last bit of festiveness before we just take down all the lights, and it's just cold. It's quite cold where I'm at today, so I actually kind of like the lights. Makes it feel a little cozier. Speaking of cozy, I have my cup of coffee here in my Emo's Not Dead cup because emo is not dead. And it's great. So, what's also great is Pilates. So, with that, we're going to get started in about a minute or so here, just letting everyone settle in. I'm going to go through my little spiel. So, this is an open level mat class, which means that if this is your first time taking Pilates or this is your third time this week, this is open and you are all going to be able to take this class and get something out of it. There's no props today. Sometimes I will use household items or legitimate props, like you can see over there, for class. But you don't need anything today, and that's the magic of classical mat Pilates, is that you really don't need any of those things. All you need is a squishy mat and yourself. I may incorporate some audience participation into this class. I'm still thinking about it. We're going to see how it goes, and maybe I'll throw up a poll here or there to let you decide how we change class or modify or change things up. So be on the lookout for that. Before we begin, you know your body better than I ever will. So pushing through an effort is sometimes not what we want to do. So finding our edge and challenging ourselves is a good thing and something that we can do. Pain is something that we don't want, and pushing through pain is something we absolutely don't want to do. So if at any point you experience pain, abort mission and either take a modification that I will provide or take a pause and join us in the next exercise. Speaking of music, if you want to listen to some music, I encourage you to pop it on in your place of residence right now. Or if you do like some fun K-pop, I created a K-pop and chill playlist that's about as long as the class will run. So you can scan that QR code up there to a Spotify playlist and play some fun music. I am an old lady K-pop fan, so I've been listening to K-pop for close to 20 years. So I pull from all generations of K-pop. So maybe you'll learn something from my playlist. My favorite group, for context, is Sistar, and always has been Sistar. So very excited about Sistar 19 coming back and doing some songs together. So that's for another time. All right, take your final sip of coffee. We're going to start lying down. And since it's kind of a lazy Sunday here, I'm going to incorporate a little bit more stretching into class today. Actual stretching, not fake Pilates stretching. I'm feeling a little sore. I went to 3 dance classes after not dancing for a while, so I'm feeling it a little today too. So, cheers, final sip of coffee. At least for now. All right. Let's start lying down. And just settle in here. Let's actually start with a long yawning stretch here. So just open your legs the width of the mat. Bring your arms overhead. And I'm not going to cue any technique just yet. Just take a big, long yawning stretch. Maybe the shoulders shrug towards the ears. Maybe we're not entirely symmetrical. Maybe the back is really arching to the sky. Just take whatever feels good here. I like to clasp my hands behind me and punch my knuckles up to the ceiling. I get a really big stretch there. Big inhale, big exhale. Now from here, we're gonna bring our arms long down by our side, drag the legs in so they're about inner hip width distance apart, finding the bony landmarks of your hips and having that travel down that line. We'll start with a little bit of arm and shoulder warm up here to get the shoulders open a little more. As we do this, I want you to keep your collarbones wide. Obviously, we're always gonna want our shoulders away from our ears. I'm a broken record about that, but I want you today to take the focus away from pushing the shoulders down and more about just widening the collarbones. Like someone's got one hand on each clavicle and they're pulling them away from each other. With that in mind, you're gonna reach your arms up to the ceiling and then make them travel as far back as they can go. Maybe they touch the mat, maybe they don't. As you do this, I want you to now check in with your body. If it's arching up to the sky, I want you to get those bottom tips of the ribs down. So we go from this to this. That means your waist has to draw down. You feel the front ribs draw closer towards your midline and those back tips of the ribs draw down. From here, keep that width in your collarbones. Take a big inhale here, breathing into the sides of your rib cage. Exhale, bring the arms all the way back to your start position. I am knocking into something back there, I don't know. Let's take that a couple more times. Take an inhale, reach the arms back, and then exhale, bring them forward. 3 more times. I want you to think about your arms as part of your back and not as part of your arm. And that sounds a little strange. But thinking about how our arms connect to us, we want the back to initiate the movement of the arms and not the front or top of the shoulder. That's when we can really start to hurt ourselves. Our back has larger, more powerful muscles. Let's use them. Now from here, the arms are going to come back. Circle them around to the bottom. Bring them up, circle around. For me, I have to take a bit of a smaller circle. This is more about control and feeling the shoulder blade move down the back. As the arms lift up and behind, you should feel your shoulder blade kind of scoop under towards your pecs, and then feel them widen and scoop back onto more to your back as we come back to our start position. 2 more times like that. Last time, arms come by center. From here, take an inhale. Exhale, we curl our head, neck, and shoulders up. So tips of the shoulder blades are down. Tailbone is also down. We should have a little bit of lift between our lower back and the mat here. We hold here for 3, 2, 1, and just lower down. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl up and hold. Check in with your glutes. Are you squeezing your booty like crazy? I want you to release it and lower down. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl up right below your pecs. That's where the scoop comes, not from the neck, not from the shoulders. Keep those collarbones wide and lower down. This last time we curl up and hold. We take those arms again. They go back and forward. Curl through your arms and forward. 2 more times. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Lower all the way down. Look familiar? We're going to add the circles now that we did more supine. On your next exhale, you find your curl. Really use your breath here. Arms go back around, circle to the front. Back around, stay the same height the whole time. 3 more times. 2 more times. Last time. Lower down. Hug your knees into your chest, rock your head side to side. So it's easy to kind of curl the shoulders forward to lift our upper body up into our chest lift there, but I want you to think more about right below the pecs is where we want to curl up. If this is your first time or you're still getting acclimated to Pilates, you will feel this a little bit in your neck. If at any point it's painful or really unbearable, you can lower your head, neck, and shoulders down. Doesn't necessarily make things easier. All right, from here, let's stabilize the lower body. Arms are down by your side, collarbones are wide. Imagine that you have a line of paint on your triceps. I want you to spiral your triceps down to the mat and see how that opens the chest up. Let's maintain this as we keep our tailbone down and reach the legs to the ceiling. I don't care if they go straight, I don't care if they're 90 or they're 45. We're aiming for straight wherever we're at. And then bend them back in. Nothing changes as the legs straighten to the ceiling. And bend, bring it in. 2 more times. Last time. This time as we bend in, I want you to reach your thighs towards your chest, maintaining your neutral position. And now how close can the thighs stay to your chest as you lengthen the legs to the ceiling? Create space in your abdominals by drawing down and together so that your legs can draw closer together. It's interesting to kind of find that access in how the abdominals move the legs. Let's go one more here. And then bend your legs to tabletop. Take an inhale, exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. We go right into our 100 here. Pump up and down for inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keeping the knees over the hips, legs are zipped together. If tabletop is too easy, legs can go straight up to the ceiling, heels together, toes apart. And as we move through this, you can start to lower the legs. The straighter and longer the legs go, the more challenging this is. Inhale and exhale. Actually breathe here. Breathing is underrated. Let's lower the legs for 3 more and exhale. 2 more and exhale. Last time and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug your knees into your chest. Place one hand on top of each knee and just take a stir in the hip joint. And reverse your circle. The 100 is considered the true warm-up of the Pilates mat system. And get it warm, it does. From here, reach your legs long in front of you. If they can't go straight, bent is just fine. Either way, I want them zipped together like they're one leg with the feet flexed, like you're up against a wall. Moving into our roll-up, arms are going to come up to the ceiling, or as a modification, they can come to your thighs. I'll mix it up and do a little bit of everything. Same feeling here with the arms, wide collarbones, triceps spiraling towards, this time, the front of your mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, we just find the Pilates curl and hold. We're going to move through this position to eventually roll all the way up to seated. Lower down. We'll try that again. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl up and hold. Feel that hug towards center line with the legs and your abdominals, but also feel a lot of reach, like you're going to come up and reach for your toes. And then lower back down. Let's do 4 roll-ups. Inhale to prep. Exhale, we come through our curl all the way up to seated. At the top, we lift the ribs away from the hips, dive forward, drop the head. And then keep that length in the legs. You roll away from them, coming down bone by bone. Upper back, middle back, lower back, head. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll up. Dive forward. And lower down. Take your time. Slower means more precision. Means we're going to get better at these faster. 2 more times. Try to keep those legs down on the mat. Think long and feel the back of your thighs kind of heavy into the mat here. Last time we roll up. This time we'll take a dive forward of the legs because I promised some stretching. You can take a bend of the knees if that feels good, or keep the legs straight. I like to play between a flat back and a round back, because we need to be able to do both. Shake it out. Now from here, I want you to reach your arms forward. Try and reach them past your toes. Find that top position of your roll-up. Draw your waist back. Lift the back of your ribs to the ceiling. Can the head draw closer to your knees as you scoop your abs back? Now keep that as you come all the way back down. How slow can you go? Don't let me beat you. Don't let me beat you. How slow can you go? All the way back down. Hug that right knee into your chest. Keep your left leg long, setting up for single leg circles. So from here, let's just take that leg and do a couple of big circles with the knee bent. And then grabbing behind the thigh. I don't want you to interlace the hands, just stack them one on top of the other. Left leg is going to be nice and long with the foot flexed just like in roll up. You're going to lengthen that right leg to the ceiling and bend it in. And lengthen and bend. This time pull the thigh closer to the chest like we did in warm up. How close can the thigh stay to the chest? This time lengthen up and hold. Maybe you walk the hands up higher on the leg, keeping the shoulders down the back. Pull the shape towards you. Thigh to chest. Now from here, point your right toe, find a little external rotation of the leg, and now can you release your hands without moving your leg? The leg stays where it is. Find that core here. We take the leg across, around and lift it up. Inhale across, around, exhale, lift up. One more in this direction. Just the leg moves and nothing else. Hips don't do the mambo on the mat. Collarbones stay nice and wide. Neck is soft. Last time in this direction. Grab onto your leg. Gonna have a little bit of fun here. Well, I think it's fun. You tell me later in the comments. From here, we're gonna climb up our tree, which is now our leg, or our leg is now our tree. Starting at the bottom of the thigh, hand over hand, we climb up our tree. And then we climb down our tree. 2 more times. And climb down our tree. Keep reaching through that left leg. Bring it down. Give the leg one more pull, then bend the knee into your chest. Take it across the body, supine twist. Probably one of my top 3 favorites of all time, this stretch right here. Ooh, if you heard a growling stomach, it's mine. But I ate before this. Guess it wasn't enough. Well, I'm looking forward to lunch. Switching sides. Hug the left knee into your chest. If you're not on the same side as me, it doesn't matter. We do both sides anyway. All right, from here, lengthen that leg up to the ceiling and bend it in. As the leg lengthens, feel the thigh bone slide down into the ground in opposition. These last 2, try and pull the thigh closer to your chest. Last time, hold. Walk your hands up your leg and pull the shape towards you. Try to keep the shoulders down on the mat. Now point the toe, external rotation. Can the leg stay where it is even when you release your arms? Woohoo! Take the leg across. Around and up. Hips stay down and square. Spiral those triceps down to the mat. And now reverse. Take it out. Around and up. Out. Around and up. Last time. Grabbing behind the leg. You can flex the foot here if you'd like, or point. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. We climb up our tree. Ooh, this side's a little harder. And down your tree. Hand over and underhand. Coming up and rounding back. Last time. Take it all the way down. Bend the knee into your chest. Take it across your body, supine twist. I really want a sip of this coffee. I think I'm going to do it. It's staring me right in the face. You can't see it, but I can. All right, come back through center. rock yourself up to seated, or you can stay lying down, grab a little water, and we're gonna do our ab series. So the ab series, or series of 5, is probably, other than the 100 and the teaser, the most recognizable aspect of the classical Pilates mat system. It looks like a lot of other traditional gym exercises. So if this is your first time, some of these you may have done doing other fitness activities. They're just gonna have different names, and the way that we approach them is gonna be a little different. As fun fact about Pilates, we're kind of a low rep crew. You'll notice that we do about 3 to 5 reps of everything. And that principle is around doing less really well and not more, where some of them are great, kind of mixed bag. We all have done the 15 reps of whatever at the gym. We all know the first 5 are really good. The second 5 are neither here nor there. And the last 5, let's be honest, we're throwing them away most days. So I also kind of personally prefer to do the less but better. I found that has gotten me stronger faster. There's obviously a lot of great benefits to doing multiple reps of things, but that's why it's good to do a little bit of everything. So Pilates is great with its 3 to 5 reps, and then doing more is also important as well. So it's always good to mix it up and have diversity in your practice. All right, I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee, by the way. All right, for our ab series, we'll start back on our backs with our single leg stretch. So we're focusing on upper body openness and stretching through the limbs today. So ab series is a great place to apply that. We're gonna find our curl for our head, neck, for our single leg stretch. Head, neck, and shoulders are gonna come up off the mat. You're gonna grab onto your right leg, stretch your left leg long. The lower the leg is, the more challenging this is. If you need to take it higher, also valid. From here, I want you to physically pull this leg into your chest, thigh to chest, and reach this straight leg as long as it possibly can go. Feel that oppositional pull of the legs. And then slowly we transition. You get the same reach on this side. And then slow to transition, stretch and reach. All the while my collarbones are still wide. My shoulders are not rounding towards my legs. Let's pick up the pace here, finding that same stretch and stretch and stretch. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in, lower down. Double leg stretch, level 2, kinda sorta. Same thing as with single leg stretch. The higher the diagonal, I don't want to say less challenging, but it is less challenging. The lower the leg goes, the more core strength you're going to need to be able to hold your spine into place and not put all the load in your lower back. So just be mindful of that. We're gonna do 5 of these double leg stretches. It's gonna look like our warm up a little bit. Head, neck, and shoulders come up. From here, arms reach behind you, legs stretch long. Reach the toes and the hands away from each other, hold, and then bring everything back in. Stretch really long and hold. Reach, double leg stretch, and bend, bring it in. Let's do 3 a little faster. Inhale out, exhale in. Find a little pause in that wide shape and bring it back in. Last time, curl through your arms. Bend, bring it in. Lower down, rock your head side to side. So even when we flow through double leg stretch, there's still a little bit of pause right at the full expression of it. That's where that challenge comes in. Well, one of the many in that one. Let's move on to scissors. Similar to what we just did with our little leg circles. You're gonna grab behind your right thigh, calf, or ankle. Other leg is going to scissor to 45 degrees or lower, depending on how challenging you want it. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. This leg that you're holding pulses towards your chest twice. Stretch transition, take your time. Catch the leg, switch, switch. Transition. Feel like the legs are infinitely getting longer out of your hip sockets. One more on this side. You're going to catch your right leg and hold. Now from here, bring the arms down by your side. Can you get the same pulses without the hands? And switch. Draw the abs down, down. Pulse, pulse. 2 more times. Last time. Lower down, rock yourself side to side. That is the key to scissors. It's not a flexibility exercise. It's not a speed game. It's how do you get the abs to move the legs. Let's do our lower left. Hands are going to stack one on top of the other. Bring it behind the nape of your neck. We don't like to interlace the hands here because it's easy to kind of just support the upper body with your hands and not actually do the curl. So no cheating. Legs will come to tabletop, straight-ish, or straight to the ceiling. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Either way, if your legs are straight or straight-ish, heels together, toes apart. Staying in your curl. Think stretch. The legs lengthen to lower to 45 degrees or lower, and then lift them up. You lengthen to lower. Find that reach through the legs to come up. Like you're scooping into the air. My toes scoop into the air. 2 more times. Maybe challenge how low you can go. Last time. Bend your legs to tabletop, lower down. From here, we move into our crisscross. Hands stay stacked behind your head. It's nice to have these pants because I can see on camera if my legs are straight. Find your true tabletop position, which I am now in. So from here, we'll move into our crisscross, firing on those obliques. You're going to take your left armpit. You're going to draw it towards your right knee. So not elbow. Keep the elbow wide. Armpit. So I'm not twisting as much, or it doesn't look like I am, but I am feeling this directly in my side body. From here, the left leg goes long, high or low. Staying up in your curl, you transition to the other side. And you'll notice here that my hips aren't lifting. So this is a true twist of the rib cage. Come back through center. Single leg stretch legs, so find that same reach here. All of it, putting it all together in crisscross. And now let's move faster. Switch, staying up, switch, hip stay down, switch, and switch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are done. Woohoo! All right. From here, you can open the legs here, bring the soles of the feet together, shake it around, rock your head side to side. That was a nice mindful ab series with the stretch principles. I'm such a geek. I love Pilates. I love the nuances of it. It's such an interesting system that you can constantly learn from. Separate your legs the width of the mat. Flex your feet. I want you to feel that length through the legs that we've been talking about. Like someone's got their hands on both of your ankles and they're pulling you forward. Get that length through the legs. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, roll all the way up to seated. Might be a little hard. That's okay. From here, just shake it out. Recenter yourself on the mat. Maybe take another sip of coffee. And we're going to move into a little spine stretch series. This is where we explore twisting a little bit more. We'll do a little bit more spine bending, a side bending. Your spine is bending, technically, so I wasn't wrong. But either way, you're going to separate your legs the width of your mat, or slightly wider. I like to go slightly wider. Now, the goal here is to be able to sit on your sits bones. Your sit bones are those 2 bony landmarks in your booty. If you feel like you're back here, you can kind of see how my lower back is rounding. You feel like you're reaching to sit up and you can't feel like you can fully get upright. Take a bend of the knees. This is going to give you a little more mobility in your lower half to be able to sit up a little taller on those sits bones. It's more important that you're here than you're here, because this defeats the purpose of taking Pilates if we're just going to train ourselves to be in this position. I want you to find your long, tall spine here, regardless of where the legs are. You're on top of your sits bones. Your pelvis sits right on top of those. Your rib cage stacks on top of those. And your head stacks on top of those. So you have a series of concentric circles that line you up. For a little bit more of a challenge, you can be a little more forward. So if you have the mobility or you've been taking Pilates for longer, you can sit a little more forward. But it's also important here that you stay aligned so that we're not doing stuff like this or like this, because we're still out of alignment. Find that long line where those circles are still concentric. So from here, we move into our spine stretch forward. Cheers. Arms are going to come forward, wide collarbones. Feel the triceps spiral down. That paint is facing down towards the mat. You're going to take an inhale. On your exhale, your arms will slide forward, but your head will heavy towards the floor. I don't care if it gets there. And I want you to hold at your lowest point. Keeping the arms where they are, can you lift your ribs up a little higher? And see how that affects how low your head can go. Keep lifting your waist up to the ceiling. If this looks familiar, we did a similar variation in roll-up. And now similar to roll-up, you're going to stack your spine vertebra by vertebra all the way up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale. Slide and dive. This is less about how low you can go and more about how high you can lift your ribs. And stack all the way up to tall. Take your hands, bring your fingers to the bottom of your rib cage, and then bring another finger or so to the top of your hip. I want you to create a lot of space between your ribs and your hips. When you slide and dive forward, you should work to keep that space as wide and long as possible. Let's do 2 more like that with that in mind. Slide and dive. Keep lifting the ribs away from the hips. Hips draw down and stack all the way up to tall. 1 more time here. Really going for it. And all the way up to tall. From here, shake out the legs a little bit, but the arms are going to stay where they are. Remember that warm-up we did with the shoulders? We're going to do that here. Without shifting your spine, take your arms up and around to tap behind or behindish to you. And then bring them all the way back to your start position. Feel your shoulder blade move along your back as we do this. You'll notice that my shoulders don't shrug towards my ears. My core, my abdominals, I'm not shifting side to side. I'm not shifting forward and back. I'm staying stacked. I'm reaching that space between, I'm reaching my ribs up, drawing my hips down, and I'm isolating the movement of my arms on my back. Let's go 2 more. Last time, hang out behind. If you can, interlace your hands behind you. If you can, straighten or try to straighten. From here, drop your head down, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Little chest opener. Come all the way back up. Shake it out. We set up for saw. So I'm going to stay facing this direction. Since it's easier to see, we'll do our twisting saw. So if you don't have enough space, hands can come to the tips of your shoulders, to the tops of your shoulders. Elbows will stay aligned with your shoulders. If you can, bring your arms out to a T. Hips are going to stay square to the front of the mat. You're going to feel that hug of the front 2 ribs towards center. From here, twist your rib cage towards the right. Now you'll notice that I didn't take my hip with me. If you feel like one leg got longer than the other, or you're feeling, I'm exaggerating here, but a bit of a lift, keep the hips down. You just turn your ribs like you're wringing out your rib cage like a towel, and then come back through center. Wring out the rib cage to the left and center. We lead with the ribs, not with the head. So wherever your gaze is going to go, wherever your rib cage tells you to. So what we don't want to do is turn the neck to move the ribs. Oh, and center. This feels so good. One more time here, we're going to twist and hold. Can you press your arms down a little bit and lift up taller? Can you twist a little deeper? Hold for 3, 2, 1, and center. We twist to the other side. Find a little resist of the arms down. Lift the ribs away from the hips. Can you twist a little deeper? For 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Shake it out. All right, moving on to swan. There's no graceful way to come onto your stomach. Trust me, I've tried multiple ways. So don't worry about it. We're going to do some extension now. So extension is the opposite of flexion. It's heart opening. It's upper back. Think of, I just saw a GIF from Princess Tutu of a pas de deux in ballet where someone was doing like a back bend in a partnering dance. That's kind of what you're thinking. Open. So that's what we're going to do here. So for swan, legs can start wide, about the width of the mat. The wider the legs are, the less strain you might feel on your lower back. This is great, especially if this is the first time you're doing it or you're still learning. If you want more of a challenge or you've been doing this for a little while, I'm going to encourage you to narrow your stance a little bit more. If you're not sure, I always say start wide and then we do 3 to 5 reps. You can play with it. I find it also depends on the day. Sometimes I'm feeling real strong and I'm got the legs zipped together, and some days they're all the way here. So find what works for you. We're going to start with the hands stacked, one on top of the other, and we'll bring our forehead to our hands. So from here, before we even lift our upper body off the mat, I want you to lift your abs away from the floor as if you have a tack underneath your belly button and you're trying to not get pricked by it. As you lift your navel away, your front body towards your back body, I want you to start to draw your pubic bone forward so that's pressing down into the mat. So instead of kind of having it float up off of the floor, we want to bring it down. I want you to feel the bony landmarks of your hips and your pubic bone kind of press down evenly in a triangle. This is the position that we maintain as we lift and lower our upper body. This is going to help stabilize our lower back, and it's going to keep us from shifting and moving around in ways that, are not quite how we need to get the exercise done. So with that in mind, you're going to lift your abs away. You're going to draw that pubic bone down. See how the lift of the waist draws the pubic bone down and forward. That's that initiation. From here, you're going to lift your upper body up and bring your hands with it. You might go 1 inch. You might go 6 inches. Doesn't matter. Lift your abs. Lift in between your shoulder blades. And then feel the reach of your breastbone towards the front of the mat. From here, lower down bone by bone, nice and controlled. Same thing with the legs. We're going to lift to come up. So I want you to feel your sternum reach through your collarbones as you come up, like you're scooping into the air, like we did with lower lift. And then lower down with control. 2 more times. You're going to lift up, reach long and up, and reach long to lower. This last time we're going to add on. You're going to lift up and hold. Maintaining that lift. Take your arms long in front of you, bend them back, tap your forehead. Then reach them back behind you. Maybe you lift a little higher. Keep that height as you tap your forehead. To the front, and tap. To the back, and tap. For 3, and 3, and 2. Lift with that back. Don't let the neck do funky stuff. Last time. Lower all the way down. Press yourself back. Find a child's pose. Ugh. You can take the legs wide or you can zip them together. You can rock side to side. I also enjoy taking a bit of a tricep stretch here. If you bend at the elbows and clasp your hands together, you can let that chest sink through the shoulders. And that can feel really good. All right, from here, I'm gonna mix it up a little. We'll do our side kicks on one side. We'll do the rest of our extension as a transition, and then we'll go to the other side. All right, so from here, we're gonna lie down on our right side. We'll keep our side series today pretty traditional. Kick off the new year with some foundations. You're gonna line your upper body at the back edge of your mat from tailbone to elbow. Top hand will come in front of your chest. This hand here, your bottom hand, can either hold your head, or you can, excuse me, lay on your bicep like a pillow. Either way, legs are gonna come straight, and they're gonna come to the front corner of the mat, so you look like a little check mark. From here, I want you to feel that length of the legs. So we're talking about a lot, this class is about that lengthening to move the legs, that infinite reach of the legs out of the hip sockets. This is what I want you to find here. This top leg, I almost want you to reach it past this bottom leg. I want you to get so much reach out of this top leg that your hips snap one on top of the other. So there's a difference, you'll see between this, my hip is here, and this. So we want to try and get those hips to stack one on top of the other. You can bring your hand here and hold it here if that's helpful as a guide. From here, we're gonna bring the top leg up with the flex foot. You're gonna scoop into the air, lengthen, kick it forward twice. Point, reach it back behind you. Squeeze your glute, keep your hips stacked. We don't wanna fall backwards. Swing forward, kick, kick. Point, reach it back behind you. One more time like that. Kick, kick. Point, reach it back behind you. From here, bring the leg to float in line with your hip. You're gonna flex, lift the leg as high as it'll go. Point, lower it back down. Flex, scoop, lift it up. Point, reach it down. Last time, flex, lift. Point, lower down. With a pointed toe, find a little external rotation here with the leg, and then bring it back. So imagine the top of your thigh bone is a doorknob, and you're turning it open. My hip stays stacked. I'm just working in that hip. Last time, turn out and hold. Draw 5 circles with your foot. The bigger, the harder. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep drilling into an imaginary wall. Go deeper. Lengthen. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Ooh, special delivery. Don't know if you all heard that. Come back onto your stomach in a supine position. This time we come to a sphinx position. Gonna bring your forearms to the mat. We're gonna make fists with both hands and give ourselves a little fist bump. We're gonna go pretty traditional in this way. Elbows are under shoulders. Your legs are gonna zip together for this. Now, this is not a chill out watching Netflix position. I want you to press the mat away. Same feeling like we did in Swan. Abs are up, hips are down. So my spine resembles more of a long diagonal line than a U shape. We're gonna maintain that position. I'm checking myself in the camera. This is fun. We're gonna maintain this position. You're gonna take your right leg, flex the foot, kick it twice towards your booty, and lower down, switch. Kick, kick, and lower. Each kick draws closer to your booty. So a little less ricochet, a lot of control. Think of what we did in scissors in our ab series, that level of control. And kick, kick. For 3, and 2. Last time. From here, tuck the toes under. Lift up into a forearm plank. Find that long line, front body towards back body. You hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees lower down. Let's go to some double leg stretch. Not double leg stretch, double leg kicks. What am I saying? You're gonna lie down. Bring your right face cheek to the mat. I have to specify for hilarious reasons. You're gonna bring your hands to stack behind your back, long tops of the feet over. From here, choreography. Heels kick towards your booty 3 times like we just did. Deeper, deeper, deepest. Press the legs down, interlace the thumbs, lift the arms up and behind you, find a swan. And then change sides, change your gaze, kick 3, 2, 1, and lift up. 2 more times, lower down, deeper, deeper, deeper towards the booty, and lift up. Maybe the arms lift a little higher.
Last time, 3, 2, 1, lower down, lift up and hold.
Swing your arms front, lift your legs behind you, go for a little swim. This one's brutal, not my favorite, but it's really good for me. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Press yourself back, child's pose. Swimming is one of my least favorite mat exercises because it's hard. But it's really good for your entire posterior chain. So I still do it even though I don't like it. All right, let's change sides. So lying down on our left side, take a quick swig of coffee. It's still pretty warm, shockingly enough. How do you take your coffee, everyone? I'm just a black coffee drinker, which some people think I'm insane, but I don't put anything in my coffee. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just how I've always been. All right. So for me, my left leg is longer than my right leg. So in my natural state, you can even see my feet aren't lined up. So I really have to work this right side to get that full length of the leg. So something to really, it's kind of interesting to see how you find these nuances in your body when you do Pilates. From here, keep that length of the leg. You're going to lift it up. We repeat what we did on the right. You swing the leg forward, kick, kick. Point, reach it back behind you. Don't let the hip shift. Kick, kick. Can the leg stay at the same height the whole time? Easier said than done, I know. Last time. And point behind you. Bring it to a hover. You're going to flex, lengthen a lift. Point, reach lower. Flex to lift. Point, reach to lower. Last time. Reach, lower, hold. We externally rotate and internally rotate. This side might feel very different from the other side. That's okay. We are not symmetrical beings. All good. This side's a lot easier for me, interestingly enough. Last time, we're going to turn out and hold. Keep that reach of the leg. Draw your circles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse your circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. We'll come to sit. Little seated figure 4 stretch. Take your right leg. Bring your ankle to just above your knee. And then press your chest towards your leg. If you want, you can narrow your stance a little more. Just release that piriformis and that glute a little bit more. And then transition to the other side. What are you all doing today? I've got some housekeeping to do. And I also have a COS Pilates to plan for. More on that later. I'll be live streaming again on Thursday, but a little bit of a different format than this. All right, let's shake it out. Take another sip of coffee, and we're in the home stretch. We have teasers and front support left. So, what is a teaser? If you've ever seen any Pilates ad where they're in that V shape and like, yeah, I love Pilates, that's what a teaser is. It's probably the most iconic of the Pilates exercises. It's not my favorite for a lot of reasons. I have to work so hard to maintain my teaser, but it's a really great way to end class because even though it's challenging, we can make it really fun. So we're gonna do a couple of these. We're gonna start at level 1. We're gonna treat this like an arcade game. You're gonna start with level 1, and we're gonna work our way up to a more advanced teaser. At any point, where maybe we get to we're at level 0, level 1, and you go, yeah, I think this is good for me. You're gonna continue the reps with the one that works for you. So I'm gonna provide a lot of different options here. So let's prepare for this. Mostly me, because it's just so many teasers. All right, we're gonna start lying down. Legs will be in tabletop. This is our start position for our level 0 teaser. Your hands are going to come behind your thighs or to the sides. Either way, your elbows are going to be lifted and softly bent to the sides. Take an inhale. Exhale, I want you to find your Pilates curl and hold. Now from here, press your legs into your hands into your legs, and I want you to try to work your way all the way up to this V shape. Now, when we get up to the top here, it's a little different from sitting on your sits bones, because right now I'm on those bony landmarks and I can just do whatever. That's not what we want. I want you to find a little bit of a tuck backwards so that you're just in front of your tailbone. So it's that space where it's a little hard to hold. As you do that, you're going to press your chest forward in opposition. So you're going to feel your waist draw back like crazy. Your chest is nice and open. From here, you're going to start to round back like we do in roll-up. Legs stay at the same height and come all the way back down. Level 0. Now we move to level 1. We lose the arms. Find your tabletop. Take an inhale. Exhale, you roll up, reach for your toes, find your teaser. Draw your waist back, open your chest. Keep that reach long towards the front of your mat, even as we roll down. It's going to help with control. All right, what comes after this? Straight legs, no arms. So legs are going to come to a high diagonal. They can be up here, they can be up here, wherever. Take an inhale. Exhale, we roll up, you reach for your toes. Keep your arms in line with your legs. Draw your thighs and chests together. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Keep your legs where they are as you roll all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. That was pretty good. Rock yourself up to seated, or however you want to get up. We're going to end with a front support, so I'm going to be a little decapitated during this. It's kind of like a Pilates burpee. We end here and nice and strong. So find your back edge of your mat. Bring your feet heels together, toes apart in your Pilates stance. Toes are going to be at about 11 and 1 on the clock. So we're not in the Russian ballet. We don't need to be super turned out. Just a little pizza slice. From here, take your arms, take an inhale, and bring your arms up to the ceiling. And then on your exhale, forward fold. Think of your forward fold like you're standing roll up. Bone by bone, you come down. Maybe you touch the floor, maybe you don't. All valid here. You're going to walk your hands out into a plank position. Whether that's straight arms, forearms, bent legs, either way, I want you to feel really strong here. Drawing the heels back, crown of the head lengthens forward. Front body draws towards the back body for 3, 2, and 1. You're going to pike your hips up to the ceiling. Find a downward facing dog position. Draw your chest through your shoulders. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. From here, slowly roll all the way up to tall, and we flow right into our next one. This time we add push-ups. Arms come up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your waist to the ceiling as you dive forward. Walk your hands out. Find your plank. Either hold your plank or take 3 push-ups. We're going to go for tricep push-ups today, so keeping the elbows close to the ribs, and lift. And 2, and lift. Last time. Pike your hips up to the ceiling. Hands walk back. We have one more round of that as we roll all the way up. Arms come up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your head here. Let it feel good, because it won't feel good in a second. Walk your hands out because we have push-ups. All right, final 3 push-ups. Make them good. For 3. And 2. Last time. Pike your hips up, hands to feet. Wah. Let your head hang heavy. Shake it out. Let it feel good here. From here, take a big bend of the knees. Inhale. That was an exhale. Exhale, roll all the way up to tall. Bone by bone, head is the last thing to come up. Draw your shoulders back, and you are ready for your Sunday, or ending your day, or wherever you are. Nonetheless, great job. Thanks for taking class with me. I hope you enjoyed. We've got a big month on this channel here. I'm going to be streaming every Sunday at 10 a.m. EST, a class that's kind of like this. Your feedback's really important to me, so ping me on social media, on Instagram at Move with Sarah, or leave feedback in the chat. This is kind of a collaborative class, so want to do stuff that you want to do. So let me know what you think of these, and we'll change them up a little bit every Sunday. So we'll have that Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Starting now and indefinitely. And then what I'm also doing is bringing back Cos Pilates. So Cos Pilates is a cosplay Pilates fusion class where I sequence a mat class inspired by a character from anime, video games, pop culture, and we dress up, we being me. I'm very on theme. I decorate. I will be developing a Spotify playlist kind of themed around the character. So it's a really fun themed class, so if you're just as geeky as me or want to try something different, I really enjoy the Cos Pilates classes. Obviously I love Pilates, obviously I love cosplay, and it's a really fun, creative way to not just combine the two, but to play with different variations in the Pilates method. So if you're interested in that, you can follow me on Instagram at Move with Sarah, Move W Sarah with an H. I'll leave it in the description of this video as well. You can check out all upcoming classes there. And thank you again for being here. Have a great week, and I will see you all on the mat soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.